Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Beautiful day out today. Pretty windy. Not bad, but I mean it's pretty breezy. Very dry here. And I know it's dry in a lot of places. So for you homesteaders, be cautious of wildfires, that kind of stuff. You know, we're at a place here, and I know many of you throughout the Midwest is dealing with this. It would not take very much to get a pretty good sizable fire going in the grass, and with the leaves falling and everything, wouldn't take much. So for those of you folks doing Sokotin, be careful with them campfires and stuff. So anyways, some weird things are going on when it comes to economic stuff, and I want to make this is my clear disclaimer here. I'm not an expert in this area. I do know enough to probably get myself by. I don't typically kind of teach it, so to speak, on here because I don't feel that I'm that qualified, but I can tell you this, some strange things are goings on. Gold has been going up very consistently. Today, you know, we're talking in the high 2750s, 2760, that range. So, you know, above 2750. And it was just a few months ago that we were talking about 2100, and we were talking about 2300, and oh, well, it hit 2500. Now we're in the high 2700s. Silver above $35 an ounce today. It's more than it's been in over a decade, 12, 13 years or so. But it's more than just that. Bonds are going down, oil prices are going down, housing prices are going up. And if you know anything about economic stuff, these things typically all don't happen together. Oh, the stock market's up, you know. So there's definitely money to be made in things, but for me, I'm looking long term. I know some of you may do day trading, you know, try to get as much as you can out of things, you know, in that moment. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about long term, like looking at what's going on and how it's going to potentially affect us. And when you see the things going on, because the economy, sometimes it's the cause of things. Sometimes it's just reacting to the cause of things. But almost always are these things that I mentioned and others indicators of what's happening around the world in our nation and kind of a direction that we're going on. And right now it's a strange one. There's several experts in the area of this that I've looked at today, and they're kind of confused. They're saying it doesn't make sense. It's almost like the Fed has broke the system because certain things go up because other things go down, but now it's like both things are going up and these over here are going down that they shouldn't be, and it's kind of all over the board. I think it's because, well, yeah, things are broken, and people at the top levels that are really doing the big trading, the big investing, they know something's about ready to give. You know, a lot of you know this, but some may not. Say, pick for instance the stock market. While there's certainly a lot of you that kind of play the stock market, some of you have investments in stock markets, the big bulk of the trading in the stock market, the thing that causes the stock market to move this way or that way is not little individuals like you and I. It's the big boys. You know, something like 85-90% of the stock market is actually run by and invested in on the big level. The people that are kind of in the know already. Same thing with the bond market, same thing with gold and silver. And so when you see these things bounce around, oh, real estate's the same way too. You know, BlackRock, they're buying up stuff left and right. So when you see these things start looking very strange, you gotta kind of start figuring that something's up. And there are things that are going on and that are crazy. Today started the BRICS summit. You know, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia. There, I'll get them all. And then of course there's many others. There's several dozen others. There's a couple dozen that's joined, several dozen more that's wanting to join. And they're having this big summit there. And already China and India, that's been having border clashes for years, say that they figured that out and they've worked it out. Iran and Saudi Arabia have agreed to start doing naval drills, military naval drills in the Red Sea. And Russia has said that they're going to impart about $1.7 billion in weapons to Iran, which if you translate that in comparison to what American weapons cost, probably more like $3 or $4 billion. That's a significant amount. Israel keeps saying that they're on the verge of making a major attack into Iran, and Hezbollah, while one side, Israel, is saying that they've just about decimated them, Hezbollah is still putting up a pretty good fight, it looks like, on the border there, and you know, to a certain extent holding their own, comparatively speaking. And then, of course, we have the whole election thing that's going on. But when looking at the economy, I think it is indicating that something is about to give. Something's about to break. Something probably already has broken. You and I know that. But the repercussions of that are about to start showing through. The amount of debt, the amount of currency that's been printed in the last few years, the amount of debt that's being taken on, it's beyond really human comprehension. I mean, we see the numbers, we can speak the numbers, you know, you can say 35 trillion, 35.8 trillion, whatever it is, but it's beyond a number that a human can really comprehend. The amount of bank defaults and the unfunded debt in banks is just astronomical. The Federal Reserve is saying that they're going broke, that they're losing money. These are things that are not normal, folks. And so for those of you that are still on the fence about whether or not something really is up, something's really going to happen, you should be paying attention to this stuff. Because even if you're not quite sure that something's really going to happen between Iran and Israel, or between Russia and NATO, or between China and Taiwan, or between Trump and Kamala, one thing that's historically speaking that kind of shows through that it's a real good indicator that something's about to pop is the economy. And right now, it's so chaotic. It's not that it's just all bad, because there's certainly some aspects of it that look good on paper. It's the fact that it's chaotic right now. And that probably should be the biggest kind of warning sign for a lot of you that something is happening, that something is going to break. I don't necessarily know what that is. We can speculate, all of us have, of what that is, or what might be the first thing, the first, you know, card in the house of cards that falls. But I think it's pretty clear that that house of cards is crumbling. And how it looks when it's over is going to be pretty bad. And we have to get ready for that. There's just, I mean, the whole world is getting ready for it. America, especially you folks, need to step it up and get ready for it. Yes, I know. A lot of you are going to comment. I am ready. I am ready to go for it. I saw a comment just briefly. I think it was from this morning's video. You know, I don't watch football. I prep. I grow food. I train. I'm ready. Good. I'm glad that you are, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being anything. That's what we need to be doing. For those of you in that boat that say, I am doing this stuff, just push yourself a little bit more. Push it just a little bit more. Get more serious. And if you're doing the most that you believe that you can do when it comes to preparations, when it comes to training and all that stuff, then start putting some heavy focus in personal development, in your spiritual development, in your psychiatric development, in the relationship development of relationships with the people around you, because you're going to need that. This dark age that we're going into, it's not a time for really lone wolves. I'm not saying you can't survive. Some can, but I think it's a smaller amount of people than you'd think. A very select few could survive as a lone wolf in this. What we're seeing is the collapse of everything. We're seeing, I believe, the beginning of the end times. And that's going to be a really dark time. It's going to be a big struggle for a lot of people. And so not just having your preps or your skills or your location or whatever at a good high level, also having your personal development, your personal mental development, your spiritual development, your development with the people that are close around you. That's going to be quite important. So keep doing that. I don't know. I mean, what else can you say? It's like we're watching the handwriting on the wall. It's like we're watching. It's like we've been watching a painter for a while. You know, remember old Bob Ross? How many times you'd watch Bob Ross, and you knew the guy was good. You knew he knew what he was doing. But in the beginning, you had no clue what he was trying to paint. You know, the way he did it, you'd be like, what in the world? And then as he went further and further along, you started to see, well, okay, I get it. I see now what he's trying to do. And then it wasn't until the very end that you're like, wow, that's amazing. I see the full picture. We're getting into that time period right now, folks. We're able to start to see what actually the picture is. And we're getting close to that point to where we'll see the full picture. So you need to be getting ready, stocking up, prepping, and developing in here and with the people around you. Get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.